So today, we're going to be talking about goats, aren't we? Yeah, this is the newest one. Hasn't even escaped yet, have you, buddy? Oh, you haven't. That's right, Pocket. Let's go find your mom.
Pocky, here I come. Yes, Pocky. Over here.
Alright guys, Papa Pepper got a fun one today. This is a goat fence collaboration put on by Farmer G and Sweet Iris Farms. And Wholesome Roots, Home in the Sticks, VW Family Farm, and myself are all participating in it. Everyone probably got their video out earlier in the day. I'm the procrastinator, but here it is. So today we're doing a collaboration about the goats and how we keep our goats where we need them to be. Obviously, we don't chain them to trees. That apparently doesn't work. But when we've got this property, one thing that we wanted was to have sheep and goats and other animals on it. So because I had a limited acreage and because I had some finances at the time, I decided, you know what, let's try to do this once and let's try to do this pretty good. So I got a bunch of cattle panels. The cattle panels run about 20 bucks a piece at places like Tractor Supply or other feed stores. About 16 feet long, and I think they're 48 inches tall. So from the ground, they come up to my armpit pretty easily. And goats can definitely jump that. Now, if you look behind me, there's a whole section of it where we've got rock pillars and then rocks along the bottom. That's just to kind of make it tougher and make it look pretty good too. But for the most part, of all the goats we've ever had, we've only had one jumper. And the one jumper was, we brought her in new, and she didn't want to be isolated, and we were kind of keeping her quarantined at the time. So she actually jumped from where this Jacob's Ram is here, Dodge, over that fence into the next one. That was the only fence she ever jumped. Now, we've definitely had some neighbors who had some goats that were definitely a lot more rambunctious than ours. But so far, we haven't really had too much of an issue other than that one jumper. And on the outside of the fence too, I do plan on running a single barbed wire at the top. It may be kind of too late for a goat to realize it's up there if it actually tries to jump and gets caught. But I didn't want to run barbed wire on the whole thing because we do have the wool sheep too. Ain't that right, Dodge? Yeah, buddy. So a wool sheep, can obviously get pretty tangled up in barbed wire. So we didn't want to do that. But for the most part, this has served our purpose so far. We were thinking we may need to go with, Nigerian dwarfs, or get some of the Meiotic, the Tennessee fainting goat. If they've got, some of that in them, they won't jump. They're not really gonna be climbers or jumpers like other goats would. So, we could just have people ride them around all day and stay on them, that way we always know where they are, but that's not always a feasible option. But for us, that's actually all it comes down to. Is so far these cattle panels have done the trick. I will be reinforcing them. I mean, it's a lot of work to get all the rocks, which we have. Got a lot of rocks around here, into columns or on the T-posts. Probably got maybe 100 or more that I still plan on doing. The handful we got done, do look great, but that's going to be our goal. So it's just to simply have something that pretty much works for us, and then moreover, we're also going to put some sort of little building. You can see our goat ramp house up in there. Put some sort of shelter and building in every pasture. And some of these bigger ones will actually split up too. But what we're gonna try to do is keep them entertained, fed, and happy. And if they've got enough going on in their life, then they don't really have time to necessarily get in as much mischief as they should. So you can see this one's greening up and growing for the year. You can see a little bit of that perimeter fence now. But so far that's been able to take care of us. We haven't had any issues. We've been able to, we only had one goat that ever jumped a fence that was ours. We did have some neighbors' goats clearing some land here, and those guys were constantly jumping. Maybe we lucked out on the ones we got, but if this doesn't work for us in the long run, then we will be doing something like getting Tennessee fainting goat, because they come in regular size too, as far as I know. And using that as the stud, and then the next generation will all be non-jumpers, and it can just be as simple as that. Or going with something like a Nigerian dwarf that's going to stay closer to the ground anyway. So that's it. That's how we do it. We don't chain them up. We don't, tether them. We just kind of try to keep them entertained. And so far the cattle panels have worked. All right, pop out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.